members of the minority have filed a motion to halt the of the uh, vetting of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie as the Chief Justice. I've been joined now by Mohammed Issa. He's a member of parliament for the Sissala East constituency. He sits with the members of the majority in parliament for a quick reaction. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you very much for your time on Start today.
Yeah, good evening to you. How are you? And it's been some days now.
I'm well. I hope you're well too.
I'm good. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, this is the motion that members of the minority have filed, to essentially halt the vetting of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie as the acting Chief Justice. And the primary argument they make is that should the vetting continue, it will be premature, looking at the fact that there are outstanding cases in courts filed by the former Chief Justice, to halt the same vetting process. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, before I say anything, I first want to say a very good evening to you once again and your team and your good listeners across the country, especially the people of the South East. Well, I think that every opportunity for us to test the law at various levels is always something that we all welcome. We are in a democracy where people are allowed to use rule of law to make sure that things are done right. But, well, the question is not rushing to go to court or to use parliamentary procedures. The question you ask yourself is that what I am going to pursue, is it worth it? If yes, do I have the chance of succeeding? You have to do the analysis yourself. So I don't begrudge the minority for taking this step, trying to hold the processes in parliament. But my fear is that this is just an exercise in futility and will not inure to their benefit. Yeah.
I think it's an exercise in futility.
That's what I think. Strongly. Because it's just like the question they asked that you remember somewhere 2018 we had a presidential what's the name? There was an issue where they have to petition the Supreme Court for a presidential petition that took place. The same argument emanated where people thought that the president shouldn't be sworn in until the final judgment.
Right.
But eventually, we all knew very well that a process cannot be halted just because they are in court. If you have a very strong case, you can go for an injunction to install the whole process. Using parliamentary procedures by some articles of the Constitution, and also relying on the fact that Parliament has its own, is the master of its own rules, so the Speaker could use those to be able to hold. That's not enough a case for you to pursue. I think that the process should be allowed to run as it is, because what emanated or what resulted into the removal of the former Chief Justice were based clearly on the Constitution as prescribed by Article 146 and up to clause 11. Clearly, the President followed the procedures using the committee, consulting the Council of State, taking through all the processes as being determined by the Constitution. I have not seen that the President has infringed upon our constitutional provision, said that somebody would think that what has been done is wrong. So the President, to us, the same as per Article 144, is giving a mandate by consulting the Council of State to make an appointment. The President will this through by appointing Baffoe-Bonnie to become the new Chief Justice, subject to what? Parliamentary approval. And that's the process we are all waiting for, believing that it will go smoothly for him to be eventually sworn in as the new Chief Justice.
Okay, but don't you think that the members of the minority also make a valid point when they say that it will be premature to select a Chief Justice when the former Chief Justice has already gone to court seeking to halt the proceedings? There hasn't been any hearing so far. Wouldn't you rather, allow the court processes to flow before you look at selecting a new Chief Justice?
Yes, as we are talking now to Tua, is she still the Chief Justice?
She's the former Chief Justice.
Yes, the appointment has been revoked based on processes. And the President deemed it fit to appoint a new person. If she has any challenge on, she can go and challenge that. That's what she's doing as per the law provides. Yes, and I'm happy that people are testing the law at all levels. But that shouldn't be a stumbling block to progress of the country. And I think that until the court says so, Nobody should stampede the process. Nobody should stampede the process. Because like I said, if the case is so strong, if the court grant them today that there's an injunction placed on these processes, I am sure Parliament will respect same and act accordingly. But until then, I think that the Parliament has every right to continue with the processes to get the new Chief Justice to occupy the position. Because as we talk now, as we are speaking now, the position of Chief Justice is what? Is vacant. Somebody's acting. And now we want a substantive person. So why should we hold because the case is in court? The mere fact that it's in court doesn't stop things from happening. No, I don't think that. It is not an entirely valid case regarding following the situation in which we find ourselves now. Yeah.
Interesting. But moving away from that slightly, the Speaker has raised concerns about, constant absenteeism from some of your colleagues, especially on your side of the House. You don't go to Parliament. You don't notify anybody of your absence. So he says that going forward, persons who are constantly found to be absenting themselves from Parliament will have their seats declared vacant. Why don't you go to Parliament?
Yeah, you are speaking to me from Parliament. So if you ask me why don't I come, it is difficult for me to answer because when we're the college.
No, not exactly you. I'm just making a generic statement.
I understand this. I'm just trying to tell you that while we're in college, every morning we were at the assembly to listen to the principal. The principal come to complain about those who don't come early.
Right.
At one time, I pointed out to the principal that normally you speak to the wrong people because all those you speak to are people who are already here. Those who are not even punctual here, they won't be here to listen to. So find a way to meet them and be able to talk to them. I just checked our voting and proceeding documents today, and you realize that after yesterday, those who are present, we are 200 parliamentarians present in Parliament who have signed. And also we have about almost...
Physically 200, or, some people will make their colleagues enter their details that they are indeed in Parliament.
The point is that we are dealing with records. And I'm talking to the records because I don't have the video to show to you whether we are all there. But I have a record that is very important. The Parliament is with record. And once you have the record of somebody, the list of people who are present, as of yesterday, attending to many different things. Because they will have if you look at the plenary or you look at the chamber and it's empty, it's not completely full. But people mostly forget that we have the Public Accounts Committee happening. People forget me. I am a part of a subsidiary legislation. Today we had several meetings. Mm-hmm. We have the Foreign Affairs Committee. Many people, others have even traveled out of this country. So that's the situation in which we find ourselves. So I clearly would think that there are some people might not be coming, but it's difficult for you not to come to Parliament and will not seek permission because the law aspect of standing order is clear that if you absent yourself 15 days without any tangible reason or that permission, your seat should be rendered vacant for other people for by-election to be conducted. So I am surprised that somebody would be that kind of irresponsible to the level that you will be staying out of Parliament for 15 days without seeking a permission from the Speaker. So I am sure that Speaker...
And interestingly, the reports we have all the time indicate that these are persons that are with the majority. It feels like because you have the numbers, you decide when you want to show up in Parliament.
Not necessarily, because if you look at it, because out of the 60 ministers, so now 58, unfortunately, out of 60 ministers that we have, we have about, let's say, about 42 of them coming from Parliament, and they run across this country and the globe to get one thing done or the other. So you cannot always be seeing them in Parliament unless they have something to do. But anytime there's the need for us to be in Parliament with full numbers, people come. Trust me, without even the quorum of 92 plus people, we will not be able to start any parliamentary work. So people are always there. But only that we don't convert at the time, like there's a big occasion coming. But if you come within the premises of Parliament, a lot is happening. And at every point in time, we have close 200 or more of parliamentarians around. Yeah. The minority will always try to make a case. And we know leaders, Americans will look around and try to take advantage and make a case to be in the news. It doesn't make us look that bad because I think we are not coming to Parliament. We do come to Parliament, but I can also confirm that all of us come at all times. No, that one I can say that.
Okay. Tomorrow I'll make time and come and see things for myself there. But thank you very much.
I am even inviting you so that you come and see for yourself.
No problem. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That's Mohammed Bataglia Issah. He's a member of Parliament for the Sissala East constituency.